And we are live. What's good, Charles Man, Dale Saint? Welcome. I really want to know podcast. How y'all doing, man? Happy Monday, man. First of all, I just want to say, hey, man, appreciate y'all checking out yesterday's show, bro. We had a good time. That was a good conversation, man. We were talking about Casey Redbeard and Lucario, Mr. Lucario. They were having a discussion about game, like really basically like pickup artistry versus traditional old school games. So appreciate y'all checking me out on that. And again, shout out to Fresh and his new podcast, A Fresh Start, man. Old boy's busy, man. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but there's a lot of Freshes out there doing interviews. And Mr. Organic, Fresh and Organic did a collab. They did an interview, bro. Some real good information coming out there. You know, it's kind of cool. It's kind of giving me a whole new perspective on you know what I mean, on this podcast game and how it works. But appreciate you, man. Appreciate y'all for rocking out with me. So today we're going to be talking about what's going on with men basically choosing the red pill. I think 2025 is going to be the year of the red pill, guys. There's a lot of content out there. There's just points in that direction. Yo, let's get into it. And we are live. What's good, y'all? Welcome to the I Really Want to Know podcast, y'all. Get some indeed. Like, and the stuff that we're talking about, this is no longer new. This is no longer fringe. You know, the manosphere, bro, the mano swamp, the red pill world has definitely gone mainstream. You can't look at, I mean, people don't grab papers anymore physically, but you go on websites. Like you go to, New York Times, New York Post, different news outlets. They're talking about this kind of stuff, man. They're talking about loneliness. They're talking about male loneliness. They're talking about the sexual marketplace. They're talking about guys going their own way. They're talking about, women, because we got the incel movement. They were talking about the femcel thing, which is ridiculous. We know that's not a thing. But yeah, it's mainstream now, guys. It's mainstream now. And we're going into a, recession. Some say we're already in a recession, been here. Things are going to get worse financially in America. It's going to be hard. Normally when that happens, that brings people together. I'm curious to see what happens for this one. Generally speaking, women like want to settle down with pretty much any dude that'll have them so they can stack their money and kind of get through the rough times. But dudes aren't having it. Dudes are now kind of doing the Andrew Tate thing. It's like, well, I'll just become roommates with a couple other guys and, steel sharp and steel. We'll just work hard. And instead of shacking up with a woman, they're like, man, we're going to get these dudes and we're going to stay focused. We're going to work hard. Hit the gym, get our money right, look for some business opportunities and grow. And I think that's what's going to happen in 2025. Brother Mandrell's in the building. He was number one. He was in the door ready to go. He was like, let's get started, Airborne. I was 2 minutes late, man. 120 seconds late. We got the Green Beret in here. See? Well, you see what I mean about Green Berets? Green Berets playing and they are always on time. So don't mess with the Green Berets timetable. So I had to send him a message, Green, like, go. That's some Airborne talk right there. We got Brother Pablo in the building. What's good, fam? Brother Pablo's in California, but he's in Northern California. So those storms did not affect him. Pretty sure they could smell it, though. You could probably smell it up there if the wind was blowing to the north. But I'm glad that didn't affect you, bro. But Southern California got wrecked, man. They're getting a handle on those firestorms. They're getting a handle on those fires, getting them under control. But they're not out of the woods, bro. It's supposed to be some. They're anticipating, or the forecast calls for wind. I think Tuesday, Wednesday of this week. So just when you think everything's under control, if you get enough wind, bro, it can stoke up those fires. So let's keep your fingers crossed, man, and keep California in your prayers. It's craziness out there, man. Craziness. We'll probably talk about this on Thursday. California was already expensive, and they had a crazy rental market, but now. Like everything's doubled, at least doubled. You got all these mega wealthy folks, and then you have all these regular folks, and even some poor folks trying to find apartments, trying to find space to live out there. And they all want to be as close as they can to where they used to live, which in this case, Pacific Palisades for the vast majority of them. So Santa Monica, Brentwood, Bel Air, Beverly Hills, you know, all that property just shot up at least double. At least I was just watching this thing on Breaking Points, and they were saying like, yeah, no, this person had a home for rent that was already furnished, and they were listing it for $1,500 a month. Now it's like $2,900 a month for the same property. So no, I'm sorry, it was $15,000 a month. My bad, $15,000 a month, and now it's renting for $29,000 a month. So it is crazy. It is crazy out there, man. So uh, California is not out of the woods yet. They got a long way to go, and even down here in Florida, people are still trying to pull permits and trying to get their homes, squared away from the last couple of hurricanes that we had here, Milton and Helene, and they're having trouble with that. And there are people down here. There's so many scams going on. There's going to be a bunch of scams out there. When we have these disasters, bro, it's just, oh man, it's just such. So it's just a headache, man. It's just a headache, man. So, but everyone's talking about Pacific Palisades, and most of the people there had a bunch of money. There were some folks there who had houses there that they bought, 30, 40 years ago. And their houses went from, let's say, 300, maybe 500,000 to 3.4 million, 4 million. But it's not like those people were out there making big boy money. All of their wealth was tied up in the house, and now the house is burned down. So, some people might be wiped out. Even if they can rebuild, they might not have the money to do it. If insurance gives them a hard time, if they had insurance, they might not be able to do it. So it's gonna be crazy. There's gonna be so many stories coming out, guys. We'll definitely keep our eyes on that. But yeah, we're gonna talk some more about some red pill stuff right now, man. We're gonna talk about some red pill stuff. And it's crazy. So we have got a few videos here. The first video, many men have decided to remain single. The biggest reason. We're gonna get into this. I forget the name of the content creator. Let me look at her name real quick. Emily W. King. Emily W. King. I've never really watched anything. I saw this. It's like about a 12, 13-minute video. And I watched like a couple minutes of it. I'm like, you know what? Let me save the rest of it for the pod. We're going to talk about this. And this is something, gentlemen, we know this. Women are talking about it. And I do understand it's going to be people like, well, it's not all women. I get it. I get YouTube. The people who actually make content and to say these things, the TikTokers and all that, still a small percentage of the overall population. But what they're talking about is a thing. It's a thing. The dating landscape has definitely shifted majorly over the past 5 years. And we understand that the dating landscape is always kind of changing and shifting and moving. But what's going on now? Like it's such a drastic change. It's insane. For me to sit back and look at it from the 80s to 90s to the 2000s, it was pretty much the same. It's little subtle differences here and there. But once this technology hit, bro, once you got this, social media thing and people attached to their phone and hooked on their phones, once that happened, that's really changed the way people socialize. Just from being out and about, going up, talking to a woman, trying to get on, day game or whatever, or code approach. I think that's what they call it, code approach, to meeting in the social spaces like a club or a lounge. Bro, it's changed, man. I go into a club, man, you only see a handful of guys actually trying to run around and holler at women. And some of the women act like they don't want to be bothered, but they really do. And they've been complaining and saying things about men and making men feel unnecessarily bad. So dudes are like, all right, we ain't gonna do that no more. And now these women are walking around, looking, I see so many women walking up to men now, coming up with excuses to say something. Like I said, like if a woman's interested in you, she will put herself in your orbit, but it's very rare that she would say something. At least back in the day, that's how it was. Now they come up and they're trying to holler at you. So again, a drastic change, and dudes are walking away. I know I do it all the time. Women come up to me, especially if I'm not attracted at all to some women, like, nah, I ain't trying to holler at her. I see her coming. I normally move before she can get close enough to me, but sometimes they get to me before I see them coming, and they'll say something, and I'm like, I'm good. And I'll just walk away. And it's a lot of women saying, like, dudes are doing that. My bartender friends who are watching the game unfold, they're saying it like, yeah, I see it all the time. Like these dudes, they're not engaging. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like the guys who are afraid to engage? Like, no, the guys that I know will engage. The guys who got game, they're not engaging. We got Lady Naveau in the building. What's good, sis? Happy New Year, love. Good to see you. And he's like, sub thinking, miss you, bro. You miss main man interview on Gray. Talking about Gray Pill or Gray Area podcast. Black man on the Black Man Unfiltered. It was good. I'll drop you a link so you can check it out. Yeah, please do. Please do. Good to Happy New Year, sis. Yeah, drop the link. Let me know. Let me know. Man interview on Gray Area podcast. I don't even know if I've checked out Gray Area. Hit me up. Yeah. And if they run panels, that's something I'm gonna be trying to do this year. I'm gonna try to catch some panels, especially if they're cool panels. I don't want to waste my time when people are just talking craziness and madness. I don't want to deal with that. But if it's like a decent conversation with good folks, I would love to jump on there. So yes, sis, please put that in there. I'll definitely check that out. Yeah, Gray Area podcast. I'm gonna definitely check that out. Appreciate you. And so let's get into this. Let's watch this first video. She's talking. Many men have decided to remain single. The biggest reason. So she's gonna list some reasons. Let's pull this up so you can check this out. There she is. I think she has about 12,000 subscribers. So her video is already linked in the description below. Please check her out. Go over there, like, subscribe, and all that good stuff, man. Support YouTubers. Yeah, let's get into it. Here we go.
Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, I want to talk about what I believe is the biggest reason why a lot of young men are staying single. I could make this into a video of 100 reasons why men are choosing to be single today because there are a lot of reasons. We know that there are more young men remaining single than in any recent generation. And I do think that there are a lot of factors, but I want to dive into what I think is one of the biggest reasons why I've been hearing from young men as to why they have decided to remain single. I've come across a video of a gentleman talking about his experience, and it looks like he's in his maybe late 20s or 30s. And I think that he verbalizes his experience really well. So the first thing we're going to do is listen to it. And I want to talk about what he's talking about, the impact of what he experienced and the change of mindset that he kind of breezes over. But I think that a lot of men are going through exactly what he went through, and it's making a very large impact on our society. And then lastly, as usual, I'm just going to give some advice. I'm going to give some advice to women and to you guys out there that are experiencing this, because I really think that those of you that are listening, like, it is already an excellent sign. It's a good sign that you guys want a relationship, right? You wouldn't be listening to this content if you weren't wanting that. And so I want to give you advice as to what you can do to better improve your chances of finding the right woman for you and developing the right relationship for you. Before we get started, guys, please remember to like this video and subscribe if you haven't yet to catch my videos every Friday. Before I say any more, let's watch the video that inspired the content today.
So right off rip, very cute woman. I think she's probably older. Looks like she has a ring on her ring finger, so I'm assuming she's married. Nice, clean home. She's probably in a spare bedroom. Probably has a husband she loves. Probably got a family, doing her thing, living wherever she's living. That's cool. Here's a woman who has won the game. She, if she has a husband and they have done the work and they are married and they continue to do the work, then they won the game. That's how we become the prize. She's the prize and her husband is the prize because they found each other and they made it work. I'm assuming that's what the case is. So there are a lot of women content creators, female content creators, who are married, and they're like, hey, we need more men involved in this and that. And she made the comment that she made about guys watching her content. It's like, you wouldn't be watching this content if you didn't want to get out here and meet some women. Now, a lot of these dudes are watching the content because she's pretty and they like listen to her talk and, just kind of listen to what she's saying. There's, some dudes are getting tired of the the Thoughtbot 304 look where women got, got the twins pushed out and, over sexualizing themselves and tons of makeup. A lot of guys just want to look at a normal, elegant, lovely woman and listen to her talk. And she's not spousing a bunch of stuff about men are bad and all this. So a lot of dudes will be watching because of that. Now I tell guys, hey, play at your own risk, man. If you want to get into the game, but you do that at your own peril. Right? If you're gonna go down here and mess with women today, you best know what you're doing. And you best be consuming content that talks about game, that talks about how to prepare yourself to go out there and handle this, right? Because you got to handle this or get handled, right? So let's listen to this video and see what's going on. And as you know, I'm definitely going to get my 2 cents on all this.
What is the most painful thing anyone has ever said to you?
It was definitely what my ex said after we had our closure moment. She said that I was the person that got her out of her depression and got her outside. And then the moment that she realized she had to do that for me, she couldn't. And so she left me. I was in a very dark place. I had a lot of people dying at that time.
How did that?
So you hear this story and right away, doesn't surprise me a bit. It doesn't surprise me a bit. I say it all the time, and this is what I mean when I say it. Men and women love differently. When men love, it's idealistically, and a lot of times when women love is opportunistically, especially if they don't wound up married young. If they stay in the game too long, it's all about opportunity and what you can do for me. So she had some sort of mental break. She went through whatever she went through. Dude stood by her side. He probably was foregoing a bunch of stuff, focused on her so she can get through it. I'm pretty sure it was a long, bumpy ride. It most always is, right? It most always is. And he gets her through it. She comes out on the other side. She's better for it. She's good. She's got herself together. And then he stumbles a little bit. Doesn't fall. Doesn't sound like he failed, but he stumbles a little bit. He's going to need a little bit of support. And she decides, you know what? I can't handle this. And she leaves him. I've seen this so many times that it is what it is, right? It is what it is. This is why you must vet properly. This is why you have to take these steps. And even if you go through all that, you use your people, you use your inner circle to help you vet women. You use your family to help you vet women. She gets through the process. You go 2 years to vet someone, minimum 2 years. You get through the process. It's like, all right, she's on point. She's the one. And, all y'all could be wrong. All y'all could be wrong, but it's really hard to fool somebody for 2 years. But sometimes people change drastically. So he's out there. He said what he said. He helped her out. And then when he needed some help, she bounced on him, left him, didn't even care. And I think a lot of that's due to the fact that the guy's kind of soft. I just kind of looking at him, listening to him. The dude's kind of soft. And she probably, was running her game, doing her thing. My man is too soft. I want somebody who's better, right? That's monkey branching over. I want me a guy that she would probably call a toxic masculine guy, but deep down inside, that's what she really wants. I want a guy who could really protect me. And my guy, he's weak and he's crying over here and he's all this kind of stuff. And she left him. This could happen. This is why you gotta be careful, gentlemen. You gotta make sure you vet that woman. You want her to be your wife. That's gonna be your ride or die. You better make sure she's about it.
That make you feel?
Still processing it. Yeah. Definitely used and often feel abandoned in that moment. Made me feel like I've had to have everything secure before I get into another relationship, but that's unhealthy for myself.
Why do you think she felt like she couldn't handle it?
Some people just, I don't know, when the going gets rough, that's when you realize who are the real ones in your life.
What did you learn about relationships?
Even the people you love can do some of the worst things to you. You can choose to forgive them or not, but all you got to do is forgive yourself and accept who you are and just keep going.
The amount of men.
Yeah, that last part you said, then I'll let her go. But that last part you said about the people you love and this and that. Here's the deal. If you're going to commit like that, the only people who should be able to hurt you like that is your wife or your husband or your children or your extended family. It's the only people who can hurt me or the people that I truly love. Right? It's only a handful of them. Those are the only people that can really hurt me. Everybody else, I'm expecting some drama. I'm expecting some drama. Like it is what it is. man, we cool, but I ain't tripping. I'm expecting some drama. I'm expecting something. So if and when it happens, I was expecting it. This guy sounds to me that he didn't vet that woman properly before he married her. And now he's jaded big time. He's afraid. He got burned bad. He's like, man, I thought I knew her, blah, blah. I guarantee you I bet you he didn't vet her properly. And that's what it boils down to. And if he did, it is what it is. Sometimes, that's at the end of the day, you taking a leap of faith. That's what these relationships are all about. You choose the one, you go through your process, whatever that process is. Like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. You take that leap of faith. And I ain't mad at him for once he got with her, once he did his vetting process, whatever he did. I hope that's what he did. Once he determined she was the one, yeah, you shouldn't be lying in bed next to a woman that you need a pistol in your hand for because you ain't sure she gonna reach over and try to stick you with a steak knife or something. Nah, you got to be able to trust that person. That's the one person, that's your ride or die. You should be able to trust her wholeheartedly.
And that were in the comments in the original video and in the video that I posted in regards to this video that have said over and over again, guys, do not tell your feelings. Do not open up. Do not be vulnerable like this to a woman. They have experienced this. I can't even tell you guys as a woman giving dating advice. I can't tell you absolutely don't worry. Just tell her your feelings because honestly, I don't think that most women can handle it. It's so tough, guys, because I think it's really difficult to really know how a woman is going to react to your vulnerability. And for a lot of men, honestly, you're so strong and you're so committed to being a provider that maybe you never really experience a large hiccup in your life. And you're in this relationship, you're married, you have a family, and you continue on and things are smooth sailing. But for a lot of men, it's not that. And like they do have a hiccup in life. And then for their woman to not be able to hold space for that is really challenging. And
It's not that it's challenging. Y'all can hear her kids screaming in the background, right? I'm pretty sure she got a babysitter, or maybe she has older kids, can kind of keep the kids under control. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'd have got up. Maybe it's because I'm a black dude. I'd have got up and went and fussed at somebody. What you making all that noise for? Y'all know I'm in here trying to work. I'm in here trying to do my YouTube thing. Hush up. Hush up. Take them downstairs. That kind of thing. But that's parenting techniques. She's saying everything but vet people. I mean, she's just, men being strong, and you just never know how a woman is gonna accept you being vulnerable to her. Right. This is why a lot of the, like the hardcore red pillars will say, no, don't show your emotions in front of a woman. Don't do it. They'll say that, and now you know why. This is where it stems from. It's a lot of dudes a lot of guys do it too soon. Maybe out crying and whatever, crying to their girl, and they're just, oh my goodness, they don't like that. It is what it is. But that should be part of your vetting process. You got to know who you're dealing with. And as a man, if you are playing the male role, the leadership role, the dominant role, you're going to be the protector and the provider. Yeah, man, you're going to have to live up to that part too. Even though women will tell you, I want my man to be vulnerable. That's all cap. That's all BS right there. Don't do it. Don't do it. Again, if you come home and let's say that you came home and the house was burned down, like a lot of those poor folks out there in California dealing with the fire out there. You come home and the house is burned down and old Yeller is laying there smoldering with the rubble of the house or whatever, couldn't get the dog out. I wouldn't cry for that. Now, if his grandmother couldn't get out, yeah, you can cry for that. So you got to be careful. And I'm not saying don't cry. You just keep it together while you're in front of her. Right in front of the kids, you just keep it together because they're gonna be a mess. They're gonna be crying or whatever. You keep it together. You go scoop the dog out. Go, dig a grave, whatever. Get the family around and say some words. Have a proper burial. Right, do all that, and then when you're alone somewhere, you go ahead and let your tears out. Right, and a lot of people be like, "Oh man, that's crazy. You shouldn't have to do all that." That's what I would do. That's what I would do. Unless again you've been through the vetting process, you know your woman, she knows you. It's just one of those things. But be careful with unleashing your emotions in front of your woman, bro. If you do that in front of the wrong woman, it can cost you.
We could get into the reasons why I think that this has developed, because I think there are reasons why women have become this way and they don't hold space for their man as much as maybe previous generations. I think that we in general are more materialistic. I think that we have these high expectations that have been inflated because of dating apps and because of social media. I think that the few men that have had bad behavior, poor behavior in relationships, I think that it just gets inflated because of social media and because of stories, that there's a lot of distrust in men. I think that because there's more and more divorces, there's more single mom homes raising kids on their own, and they're either cutting out the dad or the dad isn't involving himself, to where boys are being raised by single moms, girls are being raised by single moms, and they're not seeing that healthy dynamic of a relationship, and they're not having the influence of their dad, which is very necessary. So yeah, there are.
Yeah, she's not going far enough. I mean, the thing is, 70 to 80% of divorces are initiated by women. The courts have set up a system in such a way that the vast majority of the time the men have their children removed from them. Then you have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars in family court trying to get access to your children. It's a money trap, and dudes just understand that. So you have these women on the other side are like, oh, I'm just, poor me, I'm a single mom. But like, nah, you fought to keep your children away from the father in a lot of cases, right? And there are women out there who have dudes that don't want nothing to do with the kid, right? So they want to push the kids on that guy. Then you have the guy who wants their children, who is a great father, and they'll do everything they can. Some women now, not all, some women will do everything they can to keep those children away from that man. So, and again, we live in a society where they're gonna let it happen like that. I mean, you need, if you want to change this, America needs to, at the local level, change the laws. Like in Florida, if you go in, you're not married, and you go in to family court, even if you are married, you go into family court, is default 50-50 custody with both parents. So you can't play that game if you want to. You can't rip the kids away from one parent or the other if you want to, just because you own one. Nah, it's 50-50. It's 50-50 default custody. Done. That should be the law of the land. So that will take care of her statements about the single woman, the single mom raising a guy, raising a little boy and raising a little girl. And then there are tons of stats out there. Like when you look at, the child raised by a single mom, and you look at the numbers on how that works out. Again, I'm not trying to beat up on any gender, but when you look at the numbers on how that works out, those numbers are pretty bleak. So we should be doing everything we can to keep both parents involved in the child's life, even if it's a co-parent situation, which, I mean, it is what it is. But men understand this, and men are acting accordingly. They're backing away from it. Like, this ain't worth it, especially the dudes who have something to lose.
There are reasons to why this is happening, but the bottom line is that when it happens, a man is going to feel like he has just gave. He gave so much within the relationship, but then when he's the one that needs a little something in return, she can't do that for him. But then the minute that he can't give as much, that woman that he gave so much to, all of a sudden is unhappy in the relationship and decides to end it. So I think it's very reasonable as to why that man all of a sudden now feels like he needs to be in a really good spot before he can date. Because he has learned that a woman that he's with is not going to be happy if he's not in a good spot. And surprise, surprise, because what that creates is a lot of young men that are trying to build through their 20s. Like, they don't have everything that a woman might say that she wants because of these crazy expectations. He is going to feel like he can't win, like it's an impossible mission, because
it's going to be tough for him to win. But if he's gamed up and he understands how that works, he could get some success. I hear a lot of guys in their 20s that just don't know how the game works. And they go out here and, they're spending, tons of money on the first date. We were talking about that yesterday. Like, guys, y'all meet some woman, some stranger, you don't know this woman. Don't agree to pay $800, $500, $800 dinner to take her out so she could just run your pockets and she could take a bunch of pictures at a restaurant that she can't afford to go to. Don't do that. Don't just help her get more pictures for the gram to put up a lifestyle that she's not really living, to make other people go out and do the same thing. Like, nah, bro, don't take her out to a nice restaurant first date, bro. Go out and get yourself a smoothie or some ice cream or some coffee, have a walk in the park, do some yoga, something free or very, very low investment, right? This is something these guys are learning. And a lot of guys are going out here, they're getting their game up, they're talking to women and they're realizing like, man, a lot of these girls ain't worth it. A lot of these women ain't worth it, bro. I mean, if you just want to smash, great. That's what they trying to do. They see how loose a lot of these women are. I ain't mad at loose women. Trust me when I tell you, I ain't mad at loose women. Any loose women out there trying to holler at old Uncle Saint, hit me up in the description below. I ain't mad. I'll give you what you're looking for. But if you're looking for a relationship, I can't give you that because you're not going to make it through the vetting process. So ladies, a lot of this, most of this is on y'all. Men are problem solvers. There's a problem in the sexual marketplace right now, and these dudes are going to go and find a solution, and the solution is the red pill narrative.
He doesn't have exactly what she wants, and he can't be emotionally vulnerable with her. So if he is not in an excellent mental health status, if he doesn't already have a bunch of money, if he doesn't already own his home, if he doesn't already have his investments lined up, if he doesn't already have all of his baggage taken care of, there's just so many things. And look, the bottom line is that we cannot be perfect human beings, especially in our 20s. Like, that is one of our greatest periods of, I feel like, learning and human development. So for there not to be really that much grace, it does leave men feeling like they are just there for what they can provide. Like they are not loved for who they are as people. Like you can't blame them for feeling that way. I think that there's a lot of clear evidence that points to why they feel that way. And look, I'm not even saying that it's all women's fault. I'm just saying that when one particular man goes through this and this is what he comes out the other end saying, it is that woman's fault. It is.
You know, and here's the thing. What she's talking about, again, loosely, she's not going all the way there. It's like some women are ruining good men. These dudes go through it, get wrecked, and they figure it out. They're like, oh, hell no, bro. We ain't doing that again. And they going to come out as bad boys. No more Mr. Nice Guy. They coming out as bad boys and getting it. They going to get that Foxy Brown and then going about their business. And why is that? Because they tried being a good guy with some woman that they were into, that they was smitten by, and they came with the flowers and did everything they were supposed to do the right way. And she wound up smashing his homeboy or something like that. Or, you know, running his pockets, having him flying her out and doing all kind of crazy stuff, going on shopping sprees. It ain't her fault for running that game. It's his fault for falling for that game.
It is. I blame that woman. I blame his ex for now him having issues and staying single for a period of time. Like, I do think that that's detrimental to him, like, and to his ability to have a relationship that's healthy with a woman. Now I want to give you my advice to women first. Okay. To women, it's pretty simple. I think you need to learn to hold space for a man's vulnerability. I think that you need to feel secure in yourself enough and self-confident enough in yourself, and you have to work on yourself to build that up. You cannot just rely on everything, every good feeling that you ever experience coming from a man. You can't rely on that. Like, you should be able to hold an uncomfortable, unknown space for him for going through hard times, especially if you ever want to make a long-term commitment to a man, because when vows are involved, I know today's day and age, like, that might not mean as much as it once did, but it should. So I think that a lot of women need to work on that. Now,
vows don't mean nothing. That's the problem with no-fault marriages, or with no-fault divorce. It just, and you're going to get incentivized. Whoever has less in the situation is going to get incentivized. So if you're a woman who managed to land a dude who's doing really well, the guy's making well into six figures, he has his portfolio together, right? He has his own property, maybe a couple properties, you know, he's really good with his money. You manage to get him to marry you. 7 years in, you can walk away from that, no fault. Walk away from that. He pays for your lawyer. He pays for his lawyer. You get the house. You get a couple of the cars. You get half of the crypto portfolio. You're walking away with a cool little next egg, and that guy gets nothing. Now, it can happen the other way, ladies. If you're the one with something and he has nothing, He can do the same thing to you. But most men don't tend to do that. But that's the problem with our family court laws and the system we have in place. And dudes, the top tier guys who have something to lose, are seeing it in 1080p all over the internet. They're like, yeah, bro, it'd be stupid to marry that woman, to risk everything. And people are like, well, we'll just get a prenup. Prenups can be set aside and gotten around in most states. So prenup ain't gonna help you. Right? It's just, that's the thing. So, old girl, there's a married woman trying to help other women get to where she is, but most women ain't gonna do the work. I mean, let's just face it. And then you have the boss babes, the independent women. They're not gonna take on a guy that they call a partner, right? Because they're looking for a partner, not a husband. And if he makes less than she does, she's not going to entertain him for a long-term situation. So women now aren't, maybe that's going to change moving forward. We'll see, but I doubt it.
My advice to men is that I think that you should be able to be vulnerable, but you need to make sure that it is appropriate for the amount of time that you've been together and for like how deep the relationship is. So I don't think it's a smart idea in both ways, right? For a woman or a man to be super vulnerable with essentially a stranger, if you've just met them a week ago or 2 weeks ago. But at some point, it should happen. It should just naturally happen. You don't even need to test it. But I think that you shouldn't hold it back when it comes about in the relationship. Say you're a month in, you're 6 months in. That's actually perfect. 6 months to a year. I would say in my brain, that's a perfect timeline to be vulnerable with your partner about something. And
don't do it, fellas. Don't do it. 6 months to a year, you should be still vetting her. Don't do it. Don't be vulnerable. I would argue if this woman right here, if her husband were to be vulnerable over something, he's taking a chance. Be careful with that. They got kids and whatnot. He's doing well, but bro, she could walk away. If he's the breadwinner, he's the one that has all the money and whatnot, she can walk away. He'll lose half his stuff. And it might boil down to, wait, remember that one day you started crying when the goldfish died or whatever? It'd be something silly like that, man. Educate Tyrone in the building. What's good, fam? Don't be vulnerable. She's talking about 6 months in, a year in. Don't do it. This is bad advice. Don't do it, fellas. Keep that to yourself. I'm not saying don't cry. I'm not saying don't process those emotions. I'm saying don't process those emotions in front of her. Y'all need to be 15, 20 years in before you do something like that. Real talk. Don't do that, bro. It's not worth the chance.
And look at their reaction. And I think that you should react to their reaction in an appropriate manner. So if she does not react well to you, all right, I could say that's a red flag. Just move on. Leave it at that. But I don't think you should even just do that. I think that you should call it out for what it is. Because if you take that and you walk away from the relationship and she walks away as if, that was just circumstantial, you went through a tough time and she just couldn't handle it. That's like not okay. It really isn't.
It's absolutely okay, man. I don't agree with this lady, what she's saying right now, bro. You dealing with a woman, you 6 months in, and you see something horrific like that, she's on one, man, that's definitely the time to walk away. Bye, because trust me, this video starts off with a guy who was there for his woman when she was all jacked up. And then when it was time for him, when he stumbled a little bit, he needed a little, a little somebody to lean on for a little bit, she left him. Right? What if he had left her? Right? Again, 6 months in, man, she started acting up. This is why you vet for 2 years. Anything go wrong within those 2 years or 24 months, she does something that you really don't like. It's, man, that's foul. You leave them. You leave them. The woman you're looking for, bro, there has to be no-go symptoms there. If she does something like gets blackout drunk and not come home for the night, right? And then call you next morning, talk about I was over at Tracy's house, that's no-go right there. She can stay over at Tracy's house. That's over. Right? There should be things that, I'm not going to get into a whole list, but you should have standards. And it's like, if she's on the wrong side of this line from these standards, just grouping the standards here, I'm out. That's why you vet. You know, little shorty right here talking about 6 months, man. She must be out of her mind. 6 months and start crying in front of a woman, and then if she starts acting up, if she starts acting funny, don't leave her right away. Come on, she tripping. Cody's king in the building. What's good, fam? Only someone who wants to hurt you wants you to be vulnerable. Nah, man, that's worth thinking about right there, bro. They gathering up that info, bro. Their self-esteem is such that they believe that you're above them, and I can see that. They believe that you're above them in their mind, twisted mind. They think you're better than them. So if you do something, they catch you in a moment of vulnerability, like, oh, he's just like me, I'm gonna hold this against him. That could be a thing, bro. That could be a thing. Let's continue.
I think that especially in this situation where he was there for her and he helped her get through it, she couldn't return the favor. She couldn't even just be less than that and just hang on. You know, he wasn't even saying that he needed her to do exactly what he was able to do for her. She just needed to maybe hold space for it and just hang in there and be okay with him resolving the stuff on his own. So what I'm saying is that in this particular case, if he had said anything back to her, such as, look, this is what I've done for you, and you can't even return this. This is how it makes me feel. It makes me feel like you've just used me, like you were just here when I could provide something to you, whether.
Bro, if you're a man and I hear you say something like, this is how you made me feel, that's why she left you, homie. Too soft. Too soft. You ain't got to say nothing. This is how women process stuff. If you're a man, you're going through it, you should have a tribe of your own. You should have a crew, a clique. So when things are bad, go holler at your homies. Go holler at them like, yo, I'm dealing with this, bro, you know, and go handle that amongst brothers. They're going to protect you while while you weak. They're going to make that perimeter around you and keep you in the center and so you can go ahead and do what you got to do, and they're going to keep you strong. And then you could go back home. You know, once you sort it out with them, you go back home and be the man she needs you to be. But you might not, bro, you shouldn't be turning to her. Go holler at some dudes who can help you through it. They've been through it. She's never been through it. And had he done that, maybe he'd still be with the chick. But it sounds like that's the woman you don't want to be with in the first place. She's definitely all about her. She ain't a team player. But again, this is red pill talking points. And that guy, he might not claim the red pill. The dude at the beginning of this video, he might not claim the red pill, but I guarantee he's looking at red pill tenants, and he's in the manosphere somewhere. Guarantee he done found himself a tribe. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. And Cody is saying, in what circumstance would you wish weakness on a teammate? Facts. You ain't trying to. The team is only as strong as its weakest link. You ain't wishing that on nobody. I don't want this person to just no. I need you to be strong. And men, hey, it is what it is, man. Men have an extra burden that they got to carry. So carry it. And you got some issues, go to your tribe, go to your clique. If I got some problems, I can holler at Mandrill. If I got some problems, I'm really gonna holler at Jay Swans. That's just how it's been. And the same thing with him. He come to me, we got some stuff, man. We work it out. What's good? What's good, bro? He come to me with realness. He know it's safe with me no matter what. That's my guy, bro. Like if we got to go out there and do something, I'm gonna be the one with the shovel out there digging a hole, getting rid of the evidence. You need that in your life. You need that. If it goes bad, that's what you need. You got to know, like I got my guy over here, like my dude. You know what I'm saying? His own. This dude always here for me. This is the rock. I'm always here for him. You can't be running around to these women, bro. So this advice she's giving right here, I don't agree with any of it.
It was emotional support, financial support, whatever that was during that time that you had difficulty. And for me to go through something difficult right now in this moment, and for you to just completely give up and to not be able to be there, like it feels like you didn't really love me. It makes it feel like
she didn't. She ran your pockets. That's the thing. You ain't got to confront the woman about it. You were down, and I took care of you financially and emotionally and physically. I was there for you, and I helped you through it. And now that I need some help, you just leave me. You're such a meanie. That's your fault, homie, for picking that woman. So now, and guys, you don't need closure like that, bro. Just leave. That's women need that. You a man, bro, just turn the page, bro. Go get you another one when you're ready. Just you ain't got to go and talk and all that, man. That's how women process stuff, man. Men process it a little bit different, right? Just a little bit different. So let's listen to the last few words and then we'll move on to the next video.
If you were just here temporarily until things, became not as nice in your situation. I think that this is the part of really open and honest communication that is so necessary in a relationship. And while this example that I gave to you guys, this is a little bit of an extreme, and I would say this is just a total red flag, and he needs to just walk away. There are smaller things that happen within relationships, which I think a lot of you guys just kind of get over the hump and you don't push back on your woman as much because you want to keep the peace. But I do think that early on in a relationship, so if you're 6 months in and you're vulnerable with her about something and she makes you feel bad for it, I think you can call it out as simply as, that's kind of crappy behavior that you did that and you made me feel bad for that. And I am just fine now. I will take care of this myself, but I'm just letting you know that you weren't there for me. Call.
Don't say nothing. Send her on a girl's trip, and when she gets back, all of her stuff is out of your place and is back in her place. Cut her loose. That's what you do. Women have this need to, I need you to know this is how I feel. Oh, man, people don't care how you feel. So what? You got you a woman. She ran her place. She got into your pockets. You didn't properly vet, right? She used you. And now you are of no service to her, no good to her. So she moved on to the next dude. That's all it is. You ain't got to talk to her about that. Shame on you. If you want to talk to somebody, look in the mirror and start talking. Because go look in the mirror. That's the person who's responsible. You chose the wrong woman. That's all it is. You chose the wrong woman. Take your L, learn from it, move on. All this stuff the little shorty's talking about right now, this is how women process. If you're a woman, yeah, this is good advice for ladies. I can't tell you how many women that came up to me. I just need you to know this. Like, I don't care. I'm done with you. But they will hunt you down just so they can say a few words. Some of them have it written down. They open up their little piece of paper. I need you to, because I was in counseling and they said, here are my points. Like, listen, you got 30 seconds to say what you got to say because I'm getting out of here. I'm waiting for my car to pull up. As soon as the valet bring my car up here, I'm out. Don't you want to hear what I have to say? I could care less about you, shorty. You fucked up. You did what you did. You was smashing another man in my house. You were stealing money. You were whatever you were doing. You did what you did, and I'm done with you. Bye-bye. That's it. I want you to see this. I wrote these bullet points. Email them to me. I'm out of here. That's how you got to be, fellas. That's it. Move on. Who cares what she needs? She needs closure, man. That's her problem. And a lot of people saying, man, you sound harsh right now, but it's a harsh game, ain't it? Because you tie yourself to the wrong woman, bro. You think that's harsh? Me saying deal with it? How about you just lost half of your stuff? You just lost your house. You just lost the ability to raise your children. Right? How about that? You're no longer a father. How about that? You get to see your kids on every other weekend or some shit. Nah, bro. This game is harsh, man. And it's a full contact sport. They out there hitting hard. So you better understand that, man. Just understand that. It is what it is. Like Cody, just say I'm eating in the mirror 20 times. It boils down to you, man. It starts and ends with you as men. This is why it's the male experience is different than the female experience. So, shout out to Shorty for saying what she was saying. It is good to listen to the female point of view, especially a married woman. I see where she's coming from, but she's pulling her punches. She ain't giving you the full juice. She ain't doing it because she's part of the sisterhood. She ain't trying to come down hard on the women, right? But she came down as hard as she could. And at the same time, she's going, oh, man, don't just leave her right away. Just stay around and tell her how you feel. Man, screw that. Get up out of there, man. 6 months in? You're having problems in 6 months. Man, if y'all 6 months in and y'all having real problems, bro, run. Run. Get up out of there, man. Y'all 6 months in? Get up out of there, bro. Like, be like the road runner. Yeah, just like that, bro. BB, 6 months? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. So this next video, excuse me. it's been unseasonably cold down here. And people are walking around with the sniffles and whatnot because they ain't used to, people down here in Florida, like my daughter, be wearing shorts every day. It's like it's 30 degrees outside. Oh, yeah, it'll be warmer later. She's wearing shorts, but she'll put leggings on. I ain't mad at her, but if we were back in Cincinnati, minus 15 degrees, she wouldn't be walking around with no shorts. But people in Florida, they get sick and they won't stay home. So here's the next video. This is Rational Male Clips. This is Rollo Tomasi. Shout out to Rollo Tomasi. Let's give Rollo a Don DeMarco. Don DeMarco. And this clip is why society feels threatened by the red pill. I haven't seen this, so I'm curious to hear what he has to say. And Cody is saying, if you are dating with seriousness, you should have found out what's up long before 6 months ago. Facts. It's again, vetting process, 24 months, bro. 24 months, bro. It should be 24 months of just normalcy. It shouldn't be anything crazy. And a lot of times dudes, they ignore the red flags because they're on a different track. Like I'm trying to, she fits the mold. So I'm just going to go ahead and ignore the red flag. She's good enough. I fell into that. A lot of dudes fall into that, right? They fall into that, bro. Don't do it. Young guys, if you're out here listening to me, if you're watching this video, don't fall into that trap, bro. You need to be dating with the same purpose that women date. You know how women look for reasons to disqualify men? Dude, you should be looking for reasons to disqualify the woman. For real. That's what you should be doing. And if she gives you any reason whatsoever, man, drop her. Drop her. And then people are like, man, that's awfully harsh. You're never going to find a woman if you do that. Yes, you will. You will find her. There are plenty of women out there who they are just normal within normal parameters. Plenty of women out there like that. But guess what? You ain't going to find them at the yacht party. You ain't going to find them at the mansion party. You ain't going to find them in the lounge. You ain't going to find them in the club. You ain't going to find them twerking on Instagram. It's just, you're locked into the wrong chicks, right? You're locked into the wrong chicks. That's all that is. Right. Dudes do be rushing, man. Talking about, yeah, I vetted her for 6 months. Like, man, you high, bro. 6 months. Come on, man. It is asking to be used. They're going to break you down. They're going to break you down, bro. They're going to get into your pockets. And once you commit, dude, here's the thing, guys. I got to understand this. Once you commit, once you allow your emotions out, that's Pandora's box, bro. It's open. Good luck getting those emotions back in. Once you allow your emotions out on a woman, man, you don't have the upper hand anymore. You in love, man. It's a problem. And if she don't love you like you love her, it's going to be a real problem for you, man. So this is why I tell dudes you need to protect your emotions. Protect your emotions. And this is how you get out of, if you don't protect your emotion, you'll find yourself in a situation like that guy. Talking about I helped her out during a rough time, and times got rough for me and she left me. Yeah, bro. You let your emotions out too soon. You didn't vet her. And men love different than women. He loved real, idealistically. And she was loving opportunistically. And that's just how it runs out. And that's a Rollo Tomasi quote. And Rollo Tomasi is right here. Let's listen to what he has to say about society feeling threatened by the red pill.
Society is built on the male sex drive. Yes. Thank you. Any male-female dynamic is designed to simultaneously extract as much value as possible out of that drive and keep the man in check and captured. Yes, that's why you want to know why the red pill is so dangerous to a gynocentric social order or a social order in general, or why religious people think that it's the devil. It's because it has the potential to upset that society. It has the potential to throw things off. As you were saying before, this male sex drive and the performance that is necessary, or used to be necessary to get, is no longer there. Pornography is making these guys listless and lazy, and I would 100% agree with you. 100% agree. It is a sedation. I said in the first part of Reignite, I said, I can't help you at all until you get unsedated. I can give you all the advice in the world. I can give you practical, actionable information, and it will mean jack shit to you if you can't get out of bed. It will mean nothing to you if all you're going to do is read it, close the book, and then go back to jerking. Read it, close a book, and pop pills, or smoke weed, or call Uber Eats, or play Call of Duty. What are you playing these days?
He's right about that. He's right about that. I mean, these guys, all these guys, bro, in the manosphere, they all have a copy of the Rational Male, the original, and then most of them have like the new books, the religion, and all that other stuff. And they talk about the books. They've read the books from cover to cover, but they're not out there getting gamed up. They're not out there engaging. If they want to do a little something, you know, they turn on that adult website or whatever, which is all free. So yeah, when they say that that's out there as a form of sedation, I gotta agree with him. I gotta agree with him. I mean, you ain't gotta leave the house no more. Food's at your fingertips. You know, you ain't got to do nothing. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy. So I agree with him.
What's the hot game? It's not Space Marine 2, but that couldn't be Space Marine 2. But I can't do anything for you until you can get off your fucking ass. And you have to form new neural pathways. You have to habituate yourself to being the guy that gets to the gym, to being the guy that is more self-disciplined, and to be so for yourself. Not because you want to be a better husband for your wife, not because you want to be a more eligible bachelor for 34-year-old washout chick here. None of that, because you need to be the one that you improve for. And then shit will come. After that, the great thing about this is, like, if the red pill is about male empowerment and those guys get to a state of empowerment, that upsets the fucking apple cart, man. That upsets the system. Guys getting to, you want to know why guys will say, oh, those dudes over there, that's a group of gay guys. They think they're so modern. Look, they're all lifting together with their shirts off, whatever. I don't even know what the fuck that is, right? I don't care what the group is. The feeling behind that is threatening. Guys organizing is threatening. Guys talking together in groups about anything is threatening. You want to know why male space was such a big deal? Like right around September, October, we were having this conversation on male space, which is a conversation and a chapter after chapter. I've written about this dozens of times, and people don't get it. They think that, oh, well, you know, men can go make whatever space they want to. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about pre-existing male spaces that women come into and destroy. That was what the conversation was about. But of course,
and again, a lot of people, you know, they'll say like Rolo is pretty, you know, he's pretty hardcore, but he's making good points, man. You look at what's going on in the gym. You look at what's going on in sports. Like, you know, you can't just go to your gym and join a basketball league. It has to be co-ed basketball. You can't just go play softball. It has to be co-ed softball, which is cool. I mean, that's the social element to that. But sometimes you want to compete. You want to compete for real, and it's hard to compete when you got women on the floor, women on the field. You can't really compete like that. Right? So you got that. But the party was saying about keeping guys sedated and keeping guys weak. But they still want them to perform. It's like that whole Matrix analogy, man. Like men, especially men between 18 and 50, are the batteries that drive our society. And if you can keep them appeased, keep them in the house, keep them fat, give them their adult content, give them their chemicals, you know, in the form of drugs or whatnot, give them their alcohol, but don't let them get too soft, because you still need them to perform. You still need them to work. You still need them to be batteries. So there's like, it's kind of one of those things, like, are they trying to find that balance to keep them as functional batteries? But they don't want them to be leaders of men. They don't want them to be alpha. They don't want them to be hardcore. It could be. It could be. I mean, I see it. As people make the argument, and I'm like, bro, I see it. I'm not arguing against it. To call masculinity toxic, really? That's a bad thing? Yeah, it's a bad thing until the enemy's at the gates. And then you're going to want some of that big dick energy. That's what Scott Galloway says all the time. We're going to be talking about Scott Galloway on Thursday, by the way. He has a new clip out there. He was on MSNBC, bro. He dropped a bomb on the 1%ers. And he's a 1%. He dropped a bomb. So that'll be on Thursday. We'll talk about that. But, masculinity is toxic until you need somebody to step up and protect the clan, right? Until you need somebody to step up and put the fires out. Until you need somebody to step up and go save the drowning people. Until you need somebody to step up and man his weapon and mow down the enemy. Outside of that, but it's toxic. I don't want you to do all that. It's our society is at a very bad place.
Of course, what do they got to do? They got to ridicule it. They got to juvenilize it, right? Oh, these guys are just like little kids. They want a treehouse that says no girls allowed. The He-Man Woman Haters Club. Like it's this stupid cartoonsy idea. And then because they know that explaining it takes some time. It takes some understanding. You have to actually want to understand it to get the point of what male space is really about. But the reason why they're doing that, the reason why they ridicule it is because they're scared of it. Because if guys get together, that's when shit happens.
That's the fact. Andrew Tate said that about 2-3 years ago. I think he was on Your Mom's House podcast or something like that. And he said that he was like when he was talking about the pandemic. He was like, they don't want men to get together at the local bar because if men get together, they'll talk and they'll decide like, no, we ain't gonna do this. Like go back to Revolutionary War or whenever society has taken action, it always starts in a small meeting place, generally the tavern or the pub or the bar, or I would say at the Union Hall or the VFW Hall, but guess what? There's a bar and there's alcohol where men get together and they talk. People aren't getting together anymore. People aren't talking. People aren't comparing notes. People aren't looking at what's going on out here. Everyone is in the dark. And everyone is alone. And they talk about how I was just watching this on Breaking Points. They're saying how loneliness is at a 10-year high. Like it's spiked. Like loneliness it's just crazy. Like the numbers. We'll talk about this on Thursday as well. So there is definitely some credence in what Rollo is saying right here and what the Tates have been saying. Why is it they want people to stay in the house? Why is it they don't want men working out by themselves? You can't even have a gym that's for men only. There'll be all kind of protests or whatever. They try to shut your business down, but there's plenty of, women only gyms, but women won't go there. I mean, they make some points. They make some points. It's crazy.
That's when fucking heads start cracking. That's when that's the threat. That's the threat point. So guys getting together to talk about guy things, hell, just to hang out, man. But they want to infantilize it. They want to ridicule it. They want to say, "Oh, be a big man." That's always a joke. It's in every fucking sitcom for crying out loud, man. It's this constant pushing down of the masculine, constant. Because if guys get together, they're scared of what will happen. That's why they're scared of me. That's why they're scared of Mike. That's why they're scared of shows like this. That's why or mine or Access Big. They're scared that guys might get together, think better of themselves, for themselves, and organize.
And that's exactly what's going on. That's exactly what's going on right now. This is why more and more guys are listening to and adopting red pill tenets. This is what they're doing. Like you look at our groups. We got a group here in Tampa, the Forge. We get together. We go to our guys' bar here in Tampa. We'll close the door to the public, man. We have the brothers come in there and we talk and we eat and we'll drink and we can address issues. And brothers come in there and they're happy to see the group together. And like, man, I'm so glad everybody's here. Want to talk about this, and this. Like, so we're doing that here in Tampa. We got a group in Charlotte. We got a group in DC. We got a group in Atlanta. We got groups all up and down California, Hawaii. Right? We got groups. We got guys in Japan. And yeah, we all came together under the Fresh and Fit banner, and we had the hiccup, but the groups are still together. We're still working. We're still a clan. And I'm pretty sure that those groups that we put together that were with Fresh and Fit are still together, still doing their thing. Men need this. You know, we have the technology to bring us together so we can jump into our chats and stay active and, you know, and look out for one another. Like, hey man, shoot, my house got messed up in the flood. I need somebody to help me. We got any contractors in the group? Yes. Right? Contractors show you how to do it and help you get the equipment. And then the guys will come together like, hey, on this date, we're going to run over to so-and-so's house. We're going to go to Billy's house and we're going to rip down the drywall, man. We're going to rip, you know, take out the drywall and pull up the flooring. And then we're going to come in and lay down the new stuff or whatever. And we're going to do it right because we got a contractor and we're able to pull permits. We're able to do this, and this, and save our brother thousands and thousands of dollars. This is how men need to be. We'll have guys who are locked in, like get one-nighters on some chick or whatever. He'll be telling the stories and the brothers will be like, you did what? Like, how long you known this girl? What's going on? How come? We gonna ask questions. That's all you need sometimes for people to just ask you questions. And now you got to answer them questions and you gonna tell the truth. And then guys will be like, all right, man, if you're gonna do it, it is what it is. It is what it is. If that's what you're gonna do it. But hey, we'll be here. If it goes bad, bro, we'll be here. Men need that. G Complex in the building. What's good, fam? Glad you're able to catch the stream. Hey, this again, part of our group. He's in another state. He was just out here not too long ago, man. G Complex was out here. We was chilling. He's in another state and he's working with other groups. You got the Rich Cooper clan, you know, the School of Unplugging and the Unplugged Alphas out there doing their thing. Like I said, you got Fresh and Fit, City, City Groups or City Club, Castle Club. I'm sorry, Castle Club doing their thing. We're doing our thing. Rich Cooper's doing his thing. Right there, men are forming these alliances and these groups because we need that. And bro, I'm telling you, it's a good thing. And I think Rollo is right. There are people out there who are afraid. They don't want this. Like, this keeps dudes off the couch. This gets dudes outside working out. This is going to help dudes get their game together. This is going to help dudes get their money together. This is going to help dudes stop wasting money. Our group here in Tampa, man, we're working on stuff now. We'll really just do a challenge and we just hold each other accountable. There's no money and nothing involved, but we're working on our budgets. I got a whiteboard right here. Everybody's working on their budgets and we're holding each other accountable. Like, hey, were you able to save that money? I know you were talking about moving this around and that around. And it's like, yeah, I was able to do that. And were you able to make this thing happen? And hey, did you go use my mechanic? My mechanic is cheaper than going to the dealer and he's really good. Oh yeah, I did that. That saved me $300 on the oil change. You know what I mean? That I might have still, it's stuff like that men really need. And it's slowly coming back. Slowly coming back. This kind of stuff is cyclical, man. It's slowly coming back.
Do something about it. That's what scares them shitless. And you know who else it scares shitless? It scares weak, lesser men too, who are effectively trying to identify with the feminine because they think that's they're cuttlefish, right? They're sneaky fuckers.
Yeah, they were told
they think
to do
that
it.
if they identify with the feminine, then that's the key to getting pussy. And if they can ridicule guys and they can shit all over anything that's conventionally masculine, so be it. You want to know why your churches are empty? They're devoid of men right now. Like, I remember, I said this before, like, I think it was back in 2014, 2015. Like, there was this mass exodus of guys from church culture, or whatever your church happens to be. And at some point, like, these men's ministry guys look, where are all the men in the congregation? And they're not, you know, they're all.
That's been going on since the 80s in the black church. The black communities and black churches, that's been going on since the 80s. Men just left. And that's one of the things that all the women in the church be praying for and talking about. And that's what the preachers be preaching. The preacher's going to preach to the audience. He's going to preach what these women want to hear because he doesn't want them to stop coming. That's a business too. It's a tax-free business. Boy, I wish I had a church. Right? So they keep talking about this. Where are all the men? The men used to be in the church. Back in the 70s, man, when I was a youngin', we go to church, man, it's full of men. Right? The whole leadership was men. All the deacons were men. It was full of men. Grandma, I was crushing grandpa in there, you know, granddad in there, your dad in there, you got your uncles in there, your great uncles. It was the whole community. Everybody was there. That carried on into the early 80s, got to the mid to the late 80s. men were gone in the black church anyway. I don't know what was going on in the rest of the churches. Now Rolo's talking about it. I mean, I wonder if it's hit the Catholic Church like that, because that's been the base of the communities, the church.
On the manosphere. And I remember talking to these guys, and you know who you are. I remember talking to these guys. I said, Rollo, how come the manosphere, well, it was starting to become the manosphere. How come the red pill is so attractive to these guys? I said, because it's not hostile to conventional masculinity. If you go into those churches, it has been a hostile environment. Like they don't want men to organize other than like men's Bible study. That's what they want. And they want to say, oh, you go on your men's retreat and pretend like you're in the movie 300. That's what they want you to do. Like, hey, carry a spirit. I have a chest. Oh, feel good, honey? Yeah. Or I love this when you've got, it's usually like the Valentine's Day sermon. I can't wait for Valentine's Day. The Valentine's Day sermon is always like, ladies, God, just let him lead more. Allow him to lead. So what that's saying to what the message that's if you're a pastor, by the way, if you say, ladies, let him lead a little bit. He needs to be the leader in the household. You got to let him lead. But we know who the real authority is, right? Nah, wink, wink, nod, nod, right? Because the fact that you're saying let or allow, or there's this sort of permissive, you giving him permission, it means that she's the one that's in authority to begin with.
And that's the thing too, as a dude, if I'm dealing with a woman and she is able to out alpha me, I'm with the wrong person. I'm with the wrong person. I've never really had that. I've had women test me and try to get big. You know, that's the term we used when I was coming up. Oh, you trying to get big? You a big guy now? I ain't deal with it. I'm out. Please give me an ultimatum. I love to show the back. I love for you to see my back walking up out of here. Or better yet, I'm looking at your back getting up out of my space. I've had women test me, right? And they all got dumped. Every last one of them. I even had women who came in and tried to be feminine, tried to do it on the old okie doke, kind of like what Rollo was saying. I'll just let him lead, but we really know who runs this. You ain't running nothing. I'm the one bringing home this bread. I'm the one out here busting my butt. I'm the one out here hustling. You think I'm going to come home and just give it to you? Baby, bye. Bye. If you want access like that, you better be making as much as me or more. And we can sit down and discuss what we going to do, how we going to work this money. Like I said, I had women, you know, I will give you as much rope as you need to hang yourself. And I just watch. I don't say nothing. That's another thing too. You ain't got to say nothing in the moment, bro. Oh, okay, I see what you're doing. That's it. I'm done with you. Good luck with the next guy. But Rollo's right, man. Like if you're a man, you need to be in charge. Now, how you if you want to delegate authority and whatnot, that's fine. Your leadership style is your leadership style. But you're in command. You are in command. So just keep that in mind, bro. If you're dealing with a woman and she's running things, if that's what you want, fine. If that's what you signed up for, fine. But don't be crying when she leaves you because she wants a guy who is stronger than she is, who is more alpha than she is. Don't be surprised when it happens.
And the very fact that would seem like the more natural thing for like a guy who's supposed to be in a position of authority as the pastor of a church or something like that. The very fact that guy, that would come out of his mouth without him even thinking, that means it's sort of like subconsciously part of his psyche, that the woman is always the authority. The feminine is always correct. And they're not. They're not correct, as we can see. And the more we sit here and the more we sit on our fucking thumbs and the more we watch this shit happen, we're going to go, well, how women will be better if men were better? Well, then stop saying that. Stop telling a woman that you're going to allow them to lead. That shouldn't even be a thought in your head. You know why it's a thought in your head? Because women are your mental point of origin, pastor, holy man, Mr. Christian.
Nah, that's where he's getting his money, Rollo. It ain't that as women is his point of origin. Women is what keep the doors to that church open. That's how they tied and they're paying their money. That's why he's got to pander to his audience. Right? He's not really about the religion. I would say he's about the money. I would say he's about the money. But Rolo's right. There's people that they don't want men to be leaders. I was raised as a young boy to be in charge. My aunts would groom me and get me ready to have me answering, like, you know, they would say, what should we do? Should we do this or should we do that? And I had to answer. I was groomed. We were all groomed young to be in charge, be in command. Then they sent us off to the Boy Scouts. Right? Then they would send us off to like camp, summer camp and stuff like that, where you had to go out here and learn how to be self-sufficient. You had to, you know, make decisions. Like my daughter doesn't have to make decisions on a daily basis. I'm the one, I force her to make decisions. The school decides everything for them. School's run by women. Women do things differently. Men like to sit there and let you figure it out. Right? You need to be able to take a young boy and teach him how to be a man. Teach him, you know, it's harder for us. Like I would definitely be harder on my son than I would be on my daughter. As at a certain point, as he's getting older, bro, you gotta, you know, he's got to get smacked around a little bit. He's got to get smacked around. He can understand, like, bro, this world don't care about you, man. You're gonna have to go out here and defend yourself. You're gonna go out here and make yourself seen, make yourself heard. You're gonna go out. You're gonna have to learn how to lead and go out here and take command. Like, I don't have to do that for my daughter. Now, we talk about other things with my daughter. Like, bro, I don't have to do that. I tell her what's going on. I show her how the world works. Like, she knows how to be in charge if she has to, but she doesn't want to be, and I don't want her to be alpha. So, I mean, there's a line there, but Rolo's right, man. They are threatened by the red pill because red pill creates men. You got to be a man. You got to be out here. So last thing I want to talk about, we'll wrap this up. At the other end of the spectrum, bro, the nightclub scene. Like I was saying, how socially we're changing. There's a couple videos, man, and this is from, what is the name of this? This is from Baller Alert Incorporated. Baller Alert Inc. And they're talking about the shift, right? It's the music shift that changed everything from dance floors to VIP culture, right? So the music shift changed everything from dance floors to VIP culture. We're gonna be listening to what these brothers have to say. So they got 3 club promoters and a couple club owners. Like, it's 3 guys there. They were all promoters at one point. I think 2 are owners now. One's still a promoter. This is out of Atlanta. This is a pretty good YouTube channel. They got about 180,000 subscribers. Check them out, bro. And they were talking about how the nightlife and the social dynamic has changed in the nightclub. And so we're going to look at a couple clips. The entire thing is like 45, 46 minutes. We're not going to look at that. But we're going to look at a couple clips. I might go back and look at the whole thing because there were points in there they were bringing up some good stuff. But let's listen to what they had to say about what's going on now. You know, like Atlanta has always been a mecca when it comes to the clubbing, like nightclubs and stuff like that. And the social, like Atlanta's always had its pulse on what's going on socially out here. But it's really hard to meet folks when you go out now. It's like when you go out, you're still isolated. You're still alone. Like, you're out with your group. You're not meeting other people. You're not networking. You're not mingling. And they're talking about why the nightclubs have kind of flipped the game. So let's check this out.
Do you guys think hookah changed the way how parties are? And because now that I see hookahs and sections more than the dance floor. Does that create more money for you to get, or is the dance floor? How do you guys, you know,
the dance floor ran away? So in Atlanta, and correct me if I'm wrong, the landscape of the music controls the nightlife.
Correct.
All right. So when you saw a dance floor in Atlanta clubs, they was making musics where you were dancing.
Correct.
Right. But then when the music changed and it was less about dancing and it was more about popping bottles, being VIP.
Trap music.
There you go. Then the music dictated the way you ran your club. So it was about VIP and buying sections. You understand what I'm saying? And then the hookahs came into the game too. And I think, you know, no disrespect, nowadays rappers rap about, a lot of them rap about using the drugs instead of selling the drugs. You understand what I'm saying? So the whole nightlife experience has changed because the music has changed.
That's a good take.
I want to tap into that a little bit. The consumer controls what happens at the club. You guys have to know that, right? And so in 2003, Vision opened. I think that Vision was the greatest thing and the worst thing all at the same time. Because prior to Vision, Atlanta has two worlds, Atlanta and then everybody else, right? And so people from Atlanta always partied where they was from. South side, west side, east side, north side. And then people who transplants who came here for school, work, whatever, they partied Midtown, Buckhead, and shit like that. In 2003, when now Open Visions, it was a big club. So it collapsed everybody all into the same place. And then when he started doing parties with trappers and Jesus and all that, then it made people who were south side, east side, west side, who wouldn't come into the city, gave them a reason to come into the city. So after a while, niggas didn't want to dance no more. They wanted VIP sections. Even the regular person that had a 9-to-5 job, that it really wasn't for them. They wanted to be a part of that. They wanted to be in a section and pop a bottle.
Hold on a minute. No, Vision, we had a dance floor. Actually, as a matter of fact,
There was.
Dance floors.
But that was
the one up there in the bottom.
But Vision was also the place that had about 90 VIP sections in it.
True, but
and that created a reason for regular people who never bought VIP sections, because prior to Vision, there was Velvet Room. In the Velvet Room, there was big dance floor and VIP sections. Regular people didn't buy sections in there. Only VIP people bought sections. Football players, basketball players, hustlers. At Vision, 9 to 5 people bought sections.
Okay.
And
so why is this important? Like, yo, why are we listening to these promoters talking about making money off of sections and dance floors and this and that? Because up until about, 2015, 2017, when you would go out to the nightclub, it was all about socializing, networking, and meeting. Mostly women. Like, men would meet women and women would meet men. Groups would come together. And everyone was dancing. So when you're dancing, what do? You close to, there are no boundaries. You right up on each other, sweating hard, dancing or whatever. And then you would get off the dance floor, go to the bar, get a drink or whatever. Or if you was a dude who was just running this game, you posted up at the bar, you hollering at girls, buying drinks or whatever. But everyone's mingling and mixing in, and then it used to be that the dance floor would be 75% of the spot, and then they would have tables and whatnot around dance floor so people could sit down, because people would dance till they got tired. And this was in the Midwest, and it was like this in Atlanta. We talked about in the early 90s. Late 80s into the early 90s, in the South, even in LA, go to a nightclub, big old dance floor. Then you would have places where you can sit or whatever, you move around the club. But everything's centered around that dance floor. You talk to someone, that was the thing. What's going on? You talk to her, hey, what's your name? What's going on? You look lovely tonight, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, moving a little bit. Oh, you like this song? Let's go out here and dance real quick. Take her out and dance. And she, you can glean so much information from her, and how you could tell from body language how she feels about you. Well, the dance floors are gone now, bro. Gone. I remember 2 years ago, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, went to Vendome in South Beach. Vendome is where Fresh and Fit would have a lot of their parties. But I would go into Vendome. I forget who I was with. Went into Vendome. And they used to they had a bunch of sections, but they had a dance floor. Right? So the dance floor was surrounded by sections. Not all the way surrounded, but like 2/3 of the section were around the dance floor. And then you had an area, like a general area where people could move around, walk around or whatever. Last time I went to Miami, 6 months ago, whatever it was, bro, no dance floor, all sections. So all that space of where the dance floor was, they've managed to put sections in there. And they just have enough room for the wait staff to move from cubicle to cubicle. Basically, they got these blocks and blocks of, sections. And of course, people are dancing in the sections, but the dance floor is gone. In the sections, like you sitting up on top of the sofas or whatever. I mean, it's packed. It's crazy. People migrate from one section to the next, and bottles are being popped, and they're bringing out the signs and all that. It changed everything. Yeah, bro. They're like little cubicles, man. It's like little cubicles, bro. But, like a square area with, the sofa or whatever, and the little table in the middle, and they just basically they bring the bar to you, and the drink girls pouring drinks for you without, and you pour your own drink too. But that's new, bro. There's no more dancing, man. If you want to go out and dance, you gotta go to a Latin joint, or you gotta go to a dance hall like a reggae joint. They're still dancing. Or you gotta go to an R&B thing. Like here in Tampa, they got this thing called Love Jones. And DJ in there, he's only spinning R&B all night long. So you go in there, it's more like neo soul. And those places, yeah, they got sections, but they got a lot of space for dancing around the bar, in front of the DJ booth. So basically, they got a dance floor. So it's kind of coming back to that for older heads. They won't even let girls in there if the girls are under 25. I think they won't even let them in. You got to be 25 and up for the women to get in here. But people are dancing. But in the mainstream areas and the big clubs, no one's dancing anymore, bro. No one's dancing. So you're not mingling. You're not networking. So this is huge.
The sections, here's the key. The sections was elevated.
I
So
like
when
that.
you on the dance floor,
I
look up
you look
to
up
see
to
who in VIP.
Right.
And when I'm in VIP, I look down to see who on the dance floor.
Do you
So
think
just
that's
think about that.
condescending, or was that
Nah, that was
cool
done on purpose.
Okay.
If I'm gonna pay extra, I need to be seen. And the people that see me gonna be below me. So that that's just how it is.
All right,
You see what I'm saying?
let me break it down from my point of view, okay? And I'm gonna break it down from both, from the club owner side and from the customer side. Okay, the nightlife. People keep saying, I know we're from Atlanta, we talk about Atlanta. As far as nightlife, I'll be honest with you, the nightlife is dying all over. You guys, I have some club owners elsewhere. They tell you it's slow, blah blah blah. Part of it could be financial. People don't have money. In Europe, a lot of big clubs are closing down. They're blaming the social media. They're saying a lot of young people don't want to go to the clubs no more. They rather stay on the social media.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, a lot of clubs are shutting down.
That's crazy.
As far as here home,
that's crazy. Did y'all hear that, bro? Clubs are shutting down because kids, youngins, aren't going outside. They're not. Where are they going? Maybe they're going to the hipster spots. Tyrone was talking about. I know in the Latino world they're going there. I be in these Latin spots. And G Complex can tell you, man, we was out here, man. I took him to El Jefe. We was up in there, bro. He wasn't sitting down for 10 minutes. My dancing skills ain't as good as his. He wasn't sitting down for 10 minutes, bro. He was up and gone. He was in there too. They was in there. So let's continue.
Let me tell you from what I've seen. Club owners, first things first, they don't run the business like business, right? 2, they forgot the customer service. They don't give no customer service.
Talk about it.
3, gouging. They think, there are a lot of club owners just got into the clubs because Atlanta is probably one of the easiest places you can get a liquor license. I can go find a building, slap some painting, some lights, put some sofas, sound system, go get a liquor license. If I can't get,
man, I don't know how easy it is to get a liquor license in Atlanta, but I know it's about money down here. It doesn't seem that difficult, although I have never tried to do it myself. That is crazy about the club. You're talking about gouging. If you got a nightclub, bro, in Atlanta or Miami or DC or New York or LA, you can get you a bottle of Casa Azul. You can get you a bottle that retails for $125, $150. Casa Azul. Turn around and sell it in your nightclub for $2,000. You want to talk about gouging? You want to talk about upsell? Geez. And then you'll have people come and buy 3, 4 bottles, 5 bottles. Now down here in Tampa, I think a bottle of Casa Azul is about, on the cheap end, $250 at a club, and at a high end Ritzy joint, you might spend $800 on that bottle. Casa Azul or 1942 or whatever. Hennessy, you might spend $200, $225 on a bottle of Hennessy. But in the big cities, yeah, bro, you spending, anywhere from $800 to, upwards of $2,500 for one bottle.
get a liquor license in a nightclub, I can get a liquor license, a restaurant license, open it and run as a club. Parking, ownership, charging people $40, $50, $60 to park.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay. When I say club owners, let me include the staff. The staff, they don't get enough training how to handle a customer, give them customer service. DJs, they don't care about their art. They come and just play whatever they want to play, this and this and that. That's from that part. Now let me take you from the customer point of view. The customers are confused. They don't know what the fuck they want. They don't come to the clubs to party anymore. Like Bart, you say partially, I think the problem is the music. The music has been coming out the last, 5, 6 years?
10
years? You can't even party to it. That's why if you notice, a lot of R&B nights are getting popular now in the city because you can dance to it.
That's true.
Okay? And the customer don't know what they want. They want to come to your club 1 o'clock just to party for 1 hour. That shit is crazy. You know,
Think about what he's saying. They'll come to your club at 1 o'clock to party for 1 hour. Obviously, it sounds like Atlanta shuts down at 2. I know LA, they shut down at 2. Tampa, they go to about 3. Miami goes 24/7. But think about that. You're going to go to a club for 1 hour. You're going to pay $50, $60 to park the car. Got to pay. I mean, I ain't talking about VIP parking. I'm talking about just in the back. They're going to charge you for that. They're going to charge you to get into the club another $50. Right. And if you're like, well, I got a section, okay, you're going to have to buy at least 1 bottle, maybe 2. So you're going to come in there and drop between you and your group. You might come in there and drop $1,500, $2,500 to be there for 60 minutes. But that's what he's talking about. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. And yeah, like, going to the club, even if you don't dance, is a great spot to socialize, a great spot to run game. Trust me. That's what I've been doing since I was a teenager. In there just running game. I do like to dance. I do like the R&B stuff. I have fun dancing to that. And like salsa, I got to get better. I'm not that good, but I'll get out there and dance if she's fine enough. You trust and believe I'll get out there and dance. Unlike G Complex, that brother know how to dance. He be out there salsa, merengue, bachata all night long. It's all good. And you just meeting all kind of cool folks, man. So it's just one of those things. We got brother Schmeebles in the building. What's good, fam? Good to see you, fam. Yeah, man. So you see how socially things have changed. And this is an OG, promoter, club owner. And he's like, yeah, man, people are confused. They don't know what they want. Back in the day when we went out, bro, we got there. We would get to the club. We would get there before midnight. Because after midnight, that's when it was a line. It was a pain to get in. It was whatever. We would get there about 11:30, go in there, post up. Because, again, it wasn't bottles back then. You go ahead, claim you a little section. Like, it wasn't a section. It was just like tables and chairs. Get you a table, whatever. And it's back home. So you would just wait till you see some people you went to high school with or something. Hey, we got this table over here. Do me a favor, sit here and hold the seat for me while I go to the bar. Give them a drink because they're holding the seat or whatever. It was cool. Now, sections. Section, no dance floor, all sections. People coming in at 1 o'clock because everybody wants to be VIP now. Everybody wants to sit up in the section. Want to give me a section up there. Like old boy said, now the 9 to 5 guys doing that. It used to be just VIPs for real. The money people would do it. But now, everybody's doing it. You go into a section, and it's like, who are y'all? You know what I mean? It's like, bro, didn't I buy a phone from you today over here at AT&T?
It's crazy. Jermaine, the pre-data day posted something saying, yo, can you please, if you book me from now as a DJ, see if the crowd can come there 12 o'clock.
So he told him, book me for 12:30. I want to be on D. Don't put me to DJ.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what JD said?
Yeah, JD said he's right. People shot me. Yo, when I opened the door 10 o'clock, from 10 to midnight, 12:30 is nothing. So, I have a saying, it's like, oh shit, the airplane landed. It's like, you feel like everybody's coming at the same time.
Yeah. Well, so it goes back to my point again. You know why that is? Because everybody wants to be VIP. I keep telling you, when the opportunity came for a regular person to feel like he was special, they wanted to opt all the way in. The regular person doesn't come to the club. He don't have to have no money. He not coming till 1:30. The fuck you doing, nigga? You need to be there at 10.
Yeah, hold on a minute.
Open bar.
The promoters. When we used to promote,
9:30 we have to be at the club.
We used to show up at 9:30 at the club, make sure everything's right. Make sure the sound is there. Make sure the DJ's there.
Facts.
Boom, 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 before we open the door. Now, you promoters, they only show up to 1 o'clock. I'm like, yo, what are you, celebrity? You just walking 1 o'clock.
To be honest with you, though, the difference between when you started, even when I started, and now is two things.
Go ahead.
The main one is saturated. And what I'm saying is all the promoters, ex-promoters in Atlanta are owners now, right?
True.
That's number one. So it's too many clubs. It's too, like when I was going to Visions and buying sections, you went to Visions on this day, you went here on this day. You didn't have a bunch of options.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing
I said that one time.
I think you said it. The biggest thing is social media. I'm gonna break this shit down. Back in the day, right? In order to be seen, in order to see what's going on, in order to hear from somebody, you got to be there.
Yep.
Oh, you ain't come last night. But
You
now
missed
with
it.
social media, right?
You can see it.
Everything in the palm of your hand.
You saw what you missed last night.
So I was just talking to this lady, and she was telling me about how her son goes in his room and don't come out. I said, my son do the same thing. I said, why he got to come out though? Because everything he needs is in his hand. If you ain't go to the party last night, you can see it on social media. If you want to see what Ferrari was wearing last night, you can go to your Instagram. You see what I'm saying? If you want to see what everybody talking about, you visit a blog site. Back in the day, you ain't have to do that. You had to be there. You don't got to be there now because it's all in your hand. That's what's really killing nightlife. You
And
get
it's
what I'm
cheaper.
saying?
It's cheaper.
And nowadays, less is more. So you want to be in intimate settings. Like when I go out, I don't want to go out where it's 200 people on my back. I'm smelling like weed. I got to stand in fucking line. Like you don't want to do that shit. You want to go somewhere where it's cool and where it says it's a vibe. You see what I'm saying?
Rules of bar.
Less is more.
With the plug.
And they made some great points there. You see how much technology has changed society socially. It's completely changed how we move and how we doing this, bro. Completely changed it. And it's going to be a lot more ripple effects downrange. Or I should say downstream of this. People aren't even going outside because they say, "Oh, I got my phone. I can see what happened last night." Bro, they can see it in real time. People are doing stories from the club. Like you can see exactly who in the spot and where they at, what they wearing, what they doing in real time. You ain't gotta wait till tomorrow. We got Brother Penny in the building. What's good, man? But this too is gonna change because people do have a desire to get out there and socialize and get it in. So you go to a club, right, and you name the city, and you start looking at the sections, and it's just like section full of dudes there, then a real VIP, and then a section full of chicks, right, and then like celebrity, and then like I said, a section with the janitors. Like it's crazy. And this last clip, we're gonna watch one more clip. This last clip is gonna address that issue of the whole, why dudes aren't approaching women in the club, and it was like a really good perspective. real good perspective. And when the guy said this, I was like, oh snap, he's right. This is why. Here I am thinking that it was mostly, the red pill thing. It's a little bit of that in the club, but it's mostly what Bruh's about to say is mostly what he about to say. Like I was like, yo, that makes sense. That makes sense. Again, technology has made it to, everybody got to get a section. So let's check this out.
Don't gotta be social.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You like the girl, you won't say nothing to her, but you're gonna like her post all
Or
day.
you're gonna DM her.
But you don't have
But you want to talk to her face to face.
Nah.
Exactly.
You see her face to face, you going the other way.
Guess what? She can deny you on technology, you good. But if she tell you to your face, like, man, what the fuck? I ain't talking to you.
Yeah.
You saying that shit hit different.
Yeah.
You see what I'm
That
saying?
shit
But
real
if you don't get a reply.
And right there, he's talking about a lot of these keyboard Casanovas and keyboard warriors. People got a lot to say on YouTube and on Instagram and whatever platform, sliding the DMs and whatnot. But the vast majority of these dudes would never approach these women. Guys be sliding the DMs. They don't even have their face attached to their account, right? It's something else, like a picture of an airplane or a car or something. You know what I mean? A picture of a cartoon character. And it's like, bro, they having these back and forths. But dudes would be telling me like, yeah, I slid into her DMs and look at what she wrote. Look at this. I'm like, how long you been communicating with her? Oh, we've been going back and forth for about a week. All right, well, how many times have you seen her? Oh, we ain't never went out. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? You wasting all that time going back and forth with shorty. You ain't even asked her to meet you, bro. What are you doing? The guy's afraid to meet her in real life, man, because he don't have the confidence to go up there and face her, right? Maybe his gear ain't right. Maybe he don't know anything about smell good. Maybe he believes he's too short. But the biggest thing is he has no game, therefore he has no confidence, and he's just happy with the back and forth with this girl. And he's going to walk around to someone like me and like, look, doesn't this give me points? I'm like, bro, you didn't have any points to begin with, and now I know you're afraid to talk to women. You like negative on your points, homie. But this is spilled over into the club. Like these guys are afraid to talk to women, sliding their DMs or whatever, but when they see them in real life, they run the other way. I'm glad they brought that up because I wanted to talk about that. I'm so glad they brought that up.
Apply on the DM and you done DM 100 girls, as long as you get 2 or 3 back, you good. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
But if you won't go out and talk to 100 girls, you see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So that's, in my opinion, that's really what it is.
Shit, half the time niggas don't know how to talk to girls anymore in the club.
Well, you know what I've noticed just this past year is I've noticed it used to be like where people would go to the club and they'll be happy to bring 10, 15 girls to the club. Now I'm like, man, where y'all girls at? You know what I'm saying? Like dudes in the section with 7, 8 dudes. I'm like, where y'all girls at? Because
you know what that means though, right?
Tell me.
Huh?
Tell me.
All right, cool. They can't afford it.
That's what I said.
Hear me out.
Good one.
If the dudes with the bag, he can buy the section by himself and control who comes in the section. When you see 800 people over there, 10 of them split $1,000.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Nine to fivers, but
Or the section 2,000, you got 10 boys put up $200 a piece. Now you're at the door crying for extra wristbands because it's a sausage party in your section.
But
See
you
what
know,
I'm
but
I mean, that's the truth.
hold on about you. But you know,
He ain't never lied. I've seen it. That's how it goes. You'll see, like, it's the reason these dudes don't have any women in their section is because they can't kick out any other guys because all the guys are needed to pay for the bottles. You heard what he just said, $2,000 split amongst 10 guys. They got to come up with they $200. They little, 100. They got to come in with each of them like, all right, because they did the math. They're like, well, this is how much it is for parking, so I'm an Uber. I could save that $50. This is how much it is to get into the club, but we get in the section, so I could save that $50. So all I got to do is now kick up another. I was going to drink $100 worth of stuff anyway at the bar, so I can just get my $200. We all kick in together, get a bottle, get 2 bottles or whatever, and we sharing it amongst all these dudes. You got 10 dudes in the section. Now you got 10 dudes in the section. The women look over there. They're not coming into your section. And the dudes are like holding on to the bottle like, man, I ain't giving this alcohol to nobody. I need this alcohol. I need to get my drink on. Seen it a million times. That is how it goes right now. But the guys, again, the top tier dudes, the dude with the bread, the dudes with the bag, he's got his own section. Right? So if I go out and get a section, I'm getting a couple bottles. If I bring a dude with me, he's buying a bottle too. So I'm like, all right, we'll get 3 bottles. Or we'll just get 1 each. We'll get 2 bottles. Whatever the case may be. We got the section. And then what we'll do is, so we got security right there. And what we'll do is go out into the general area and start grabbing chicks. But the thing is, the hot women are coming in there and they're bouncing from section to section to section. So you still need game. Again, shout out to Fresh and Fit when they used to do those act outs. They had the girls playing a role as the guy trying to holler to show that women have no game. It is so much science to this, bro. So you got guys in there dropping a couple $1,000. They're having a good time. They don't care. This is what they want to do. They're going to have women in their section. There's only going to be a handful of women. It's going to be like some beautiful women because the beautiful women are watching. They'll see that, oh, these dudes got their own section. It's just those two. Yeah, we finna come over here and post up in their section. And they going to sit there and rock with you for a while until they see who they really looking for, until they see, some big time athlete or some big time actor or, some hustler come in and they going to bounce. But that gives you a little bit of time to holler at them and don't get them drunk for free. It's like, nah, you can have 1 drink. Can I get some more? Like, nope, the bar's over there. You know what I mean? Nah, baby, you can't drink this whole bottle. I've seen women go into the dude's section and drink his whole bottle in less than 5 minutes. Be like 4 or 5 girls. They'd take that little bottle of Patron, bro, run that Patron gone. You hold up that bottle, it's like that much left in the Patron, bro. And that dude done paid $900 for that bottle. And like I say, these dudes got the bread. It's like, yo, give me another one. The dudes with the bread could do that. And the women are paying attention to that too. So it's like I said, man, it's all math. Let's listen to the rest of this.
Well, hear me out. The
Bars.
people don't people don't understand. They have to get this mind. You don't have to be in the section.
Yes, you do.
Yes, you do.
No, hold on a minute. No, things have to change though. You don't have to be in the section.
It ain't about what you say. It's about the females. A female's not gonna talk to a guy sitting at the bar.
And this is what I'm gonna say.
Buying a few
Very
beers.
true. But if
She want the guy buying bottles.
But yo, for real, you can come to a club. If you don't have the section, post up by the bar. Hear me out. I know it sounds crazy. You don't have it, you can't afford it, right?
That doesn't work anymore, my brother. That dude is probably, he's older than me. He's probably like close to my age, maybe 3 or 4 years older than me. This dude is applying old school theory to a new school game. You can't do it. You can't do it. Now, what you can do is get your section and then go down to the bar and start hunting chicks. You could do that. Go down there and start hollering, blah, blah, blah. She's going to think you're a brokey because you're at the bar buying drinks. Because I'll have a tab at the bar and I'll have my bottle. And I'm cool with the bartender and the bottle girl knows who I am. So it is what it is. I'm the guy that walks up when there's 20 dudes, 20 people, not just dudes, 20 people there trying to get drinks. I'm the guy that walks up and holds my finger up like this and she just hands me my drink. And people just be shocked, like, damn, who is this guy? This, you know what I mean? He's sitting around, I just hold up my finger. She see me coming, make my drink. She'll hold up her finger like, nah, real quick. She ain't listening to nobody else, man. She making my drink, handing my drink to me, moving people out the way. Like, hey, get out the way. Pardon me. Hand me my drink. I'm like, thanks, baby. Because she knows she getting tips. This is why you tip good, y'all. This is why you tip good. So I'm down there hollering at women. And I'm just, hey, how y'all doing? I'm just out here chilling, blah, blah, blah. And the women who are cool, like the ones who think they hot or whatever, the boss babes or whatever, the little asshole ladies, whatever. Okay, I'm just going down here. I'm seeing what's what, who's who. And I talk to a cool one, like, yeah, I don't normally go out. I'm here with my friends over there, and they talk me into going out. Like, it's crazy, huh? This really ain't your scene, is it? It's like, no, not really. Like, can't even sit down. And man, it's so crazy. I'm like, you know what? You cool people. You know what I mean? You want to drink? She's like, yeah, I wouldn't mind. Like, what are you drinking, Patron? Yeah. And she turns to the bar like, no. Come with me. Yeah, I'll walk her up to my section. Like when my homeboy up there, whatever, might be another cool woman up there. Like, and she just sits down like, you want Patron or would you like some 1942? Oh, I don't really know. I'm like, yo. And there's, the girl in the section, she's already like, hey, do me a favor, hook her up with a 1942. Maybe a little bit of make it sweet for her. Make it sweet. She's like, you know what? I can make her a margarita. Like, because they'll go back to the bar and get the stuff. They ain't supposed to do all that, but she'll go do it because you treating them right. Make her a little margarita with 1942. I know what y'all saying. Like, what are you doing, bro? You ain't supposed to make margaritas with 1942. But, she's cool people. Make her a little drink. She's like, oh my God, this is so amazing. And then she'll want to go back and get her friends, or her friends will see that she's up here and they'll come over. And the friends were the assholes that I was just dealing with prior to seeing her. And I was like, look, your friends can't come up here. There's a security. They can't get to you. Again, this is our game. This is our status. This is our setting up the play. I'm like, look, your friends can't come up here. I was talking to them. They gave me a hard time or whatever. I just really wasn't feeling their vibe. So you're welcome to sit up here when you get tired, but like your friends can't come up here. And she's like, okay, thank you. And she'll go off, security, open up the rope, whatever. She'll go off and she'll come back. Security let her back in. Her friends be trying to come in with her. Security be like, nope. They be looking at me like, can I get up there? I'm like, no, you can't. Not you. Sorry. Why are you acting like that? Because you're an asshole. Sorry. Right? It is what it is. Like, treat people nice and maybe you get some nice treatment in return. But this is how the game works. So in order to run, that was a long tangent for what old boy was saying. But in order to run the game that he's talking about running, in order to do that, you're going to need a section. You're going to need a section. So let's listen to it. I'm going to let it run to the end this time.
She want the guy buying bottles.
But yo, for real, you can come to a club. If you don't have the section, post up by the bar. Hear me out. I know it sounds crazy. You don't have it, you can't afford it, right? Meet one girl, buy a couple drinks, and just talk to her.
That's true.
Let me say something real quick. I was raised, and I feel like I have really good OGs around me, Biddy being one of them. I was raised and taught that a party is ran and circulated around women. I feel like if they show up, if you cater to them, it's going to create a great atmosphere for everyone to have a good time.
That's how it's supposed to be.
That's how it's supposed to be.
That's why.
He ain't never lied. He ain't never lied. That is how it used to be. But it changes. So the social scene has changed, man. Out there, like at the club, well, you know, at the club level in that world, nightclubs, lounges, restaurants, it's all the same. The social scene has changed. Right? People aren't connecting like they once did. No more dancing and stuff like that. At the typical club, like I said, you want to dance, you got to go to a dance hall. Like for reggae, you're going to have to go to a salsa spot. But people are removing themselves from society. And people can't get on. I used to meet so many women just going out, kicking it. That's how we met women. Right? A lot of people met people at work. Like I met my wife at the job. Like, well, people ain't working in that environment anymore. People aren't trying to holler at people at the job anymore because you get fired. You know, you say hi to Susan. Hey, Susan, you look nice in that dress today. Next thing you know, you got to go talk to HR. Like I just said, she looked nice in her dress. Right? So dudes ain't hollering at work and nobody. The nightclub has changed. They're getting held upside down by their ankles, and the club owners are shaking until all the money come out, paying the park, paying to get in, paying for bottles, doing all this kind of stuff, right? You know, you going out, it's going to be looking at a $1,500, $2,500 night. They don't want to do that. They can't dance. There's no incentive to go in there because you can't mix and mingle, even for the people with game. So it's like, what do? It's getting harder and harder. And then the guys who try to cold approach or just meeting women wherever, these women are giving them attitudes. Dudes are like, you know what? I've had enough of this. And then there are the guys who got finessed. And everyone's talking on social media. Everyone's talking on YouTube. Everyone's talking on Telegram and in their groups and wherever. So I can definitely see that winter is here. Just like Kevin Samuel said it would be. You got a lot of women out here who are out here left in the cold and are trying to figure it out. And the dudes don't want anything to do with them. Why? Because they got passports. They're making more money than they've ever made because these dudes are going out here hustling. Right? They're moving in with their homeboys. They're house hacking. So they're making money on the house. They're saving money. They're able to travel. Right? They go to some faraway land, wherever it is, have a great time, come back, work twice as hard because they want to get back over to the good time. And you got people out here who are actually, you know, moving away from America. So winter is here. More and more guys are going to fall down the red pill rabbit hole. Right? They're going to listen to the red pill message and they're going to adjust accordingly. Now for ladies, for you guys out there, for you ladies out there, you're trying to find yourself a good guy. You're going to have to become feminine. You're going to have to become less masculine. You dudes are not going to mess with alphas, even the invisible guys, because the invisible guys are doing work. And then they're being, you know, once they become visible to women, they're going to do what the red pill says they should do. And they're going to play it a certain way. And they don't want masculine women. They don't want it. So ladies, y'all going to have to soften it up a little bit, in my opinion. It might be too late. Might want to soften it up a little bit. You know, young girls coming online, they watching this content. So they already know they're going to keep it soft. They already know. It's just the women, it's the boss babes and all those women out there now living this alpha life. Those women, winter has come. And that is what it is right there, guys. So that's it. That's all I got to say for today, man. I really appreciate y'all rocking out with me. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below. All of the links are in the description below for the videos you guys are watching. If you're watching this on Team Replay, you know, I really believe that the red pill message is going to take hold to more and more men in 2025. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments below. It'd be kind of, you know, cool to see it. I just want to have a loose idea of what you guys are thinking. I know most of the people who rock with me are from the manosphere, but I still want to just kind of see it. Like, share, subscribe. You know, send this video or clip this video up and send it to people that you know, think would benefit from hearing it, seeing it. And I'll see y'all on Thursday, man. We're going to be talking about, on Thursday, we're going to be talking about the 1%. We're going to be talking, we're going to be looking at a video from Professor Scott Galloway, bro's gonna blow y'all mind, and we're gonna be talking about some finances a little bit. We're gonna be talking red pill finance, bro. That's what we need to talk about it. It's blood in the streets, guys. It's blood in the streets, and it's time to make your billions. It's time to add a zero to your net worth. So appreciate you, man. I'm DL Saint. This is that Really Want to Know podcast. I will see y'all Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, be safe. Peace.
Nothing like I've ever seen. It's just a thing of beauty.
Darn, that's the end.